Hello and welcome into this Wednesday edition of YITTY! Yes, I'm talking to you. She is the vivacious, loquacious, and overall, I can't think of anything that ends with us, Nina Blanco.
Bodacious.
Bodacious at the Nina Blanco. I'm Dubs the Third. I'm not Dubs the Third anymore.
You
it's Rob
can't
T
even
Radio
remember your own new social handle.
I know. She's at the Nina Blanco. I'm at Rob T Radio. My name is Rob Trujillo.
Yeah.
Or Dubs.
Or Dubs. We call you Dubs sometimes.
I'm
trying to not call you Dubs anymore.
Why?
Because now that we work together, everyone here calls you Rob.
So?
I'm the only person that calls you Dubs.
Yeah.
And now that you've changed your handle to Rob T Radio, I just feel like it just makes sense. Like I just need to make the full transition in calling you Rob.
But
do you like Dubs?
There's a portion of my life that you are a part of.
I know. But it's okay
I don't really
to evolve and keep moving forward, though.
There was a time when my nickname was Twinkie, so you know.
Oh, glad we got rid of that one.
I wore all yellow to a football practice and knocked a kid out cold, and they told me I looked like a Twinkie, and that was...
I like it. I like that. It's stuck. Nice.
Twinkie, the captain. What else? Killshot.
Okay.
Dubs.
My only...
You don't have any nicknames?
I mean, I have a couple. My sisters used to always call me 9 o'clock. Because like Nina, 9 o'clock. They call me, and especially...
But like, were you always...
Huh?
Did you always like do something at 9 o'clock, or were you always
late
my
bedtime.
to something?
It was my bedtime because my sisters were 10 years older than I.
Okay, all right.
And then my other nickname was El Nino. In high school, I was just El Nino.
See, that's a good nickname.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That is a good nickname. All right, it's Yes, I'm Talking to You, where we give some people a talking to. So we start with you, me, and we, which means that Nina gets to complain first. Nina, what's your you?
I'm always complaining about Gwyneth Paltrow whenever I get the chance.
Okay.
Because she's just ridiculous. I mean, when she started her whole lifestyle thing with Goop, it's like the name Goop was just kind of weird and ridiculous. And then she started coming out with all of these products for Goop, including her vagina scented candle, which people were like, this is not something that I need. So Gwyneth Paltrow is at it again with another money scheming idea, including Goop, her lifestyle brand. She is now putting the guest house at her home in California on Airbnb. And I don't know how I feel about this. Like, part of me actually really likes it, and part of me also hates it. Part of me likes it because there is such a wall between the celebrities and their fans and the people, if you will. And I understand why that wall is there, because we all need our personal space and privacy and da-da-da-da. But like back in the day, celebrities used to be more accessible, you know?
Did they?
I mean, kind of. You see them walking around, like they would walk around the street a little bit more and hang out with people or take that photo. And now they're just like so annoyed by anyone coming near them that I feel like the mentality has changed a little bit. Which again, I understand because they've been ridiculed and stalked and, you know, harassed.
Yeah.
But
man, that's an interesting point. Go ahead.
So Gwyneth Paltrow is putting her guest house at her house on Airbnb, and it comes with hanging out with Gwyneth Paltrow. So again, part of it, I like that. But the part that I don't like is, of course, because it's her, she is trying to somehow throw in Goop in the mix, her lifestyle brand. And so it's all about Goop staying in her guest house. It's filled with Goop products. There is breakfast you get served that it's like, I don't know, part of her lifestyle, something, the way she eats and stuff like that. But you do get to have dinner with her and her husband at the guest house. One night stay only for only up to 2 people. And it's just cringy to me because it's Gwyneth Paltrow and everything she does. I just want to hate.
The Goop part of it is annoying, but it is kind of a cool opportunity.
It is kind of cool though.
Tell me if you had that opportunity with like, I don't know, any other celebrity.
Any other celebrity. I'd be like, yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
But Gwyneth Paltrow.
It's going to be stupid expensive.
And that's the thing too. So booking doesn't start for another 2 weeks, but the listing is already up on Airbnb, but there's no price.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the price is.
Your house is what the price is going to be.
Exactly. And so that's annoying too. Like if you're going to do it, just be transparent and do it. It's going to cost some money. We know that.
Yeah.
The people, the regular people, we're not stupid. We know it's going to cost a pretty penny. So just put the price up there so I can, figure out my bank account and save some money here and there if I need to.
Now, would you want to spend your vacation with a celebrity? Because you'd have to take regular people would have to take vacation time for this, right? It's not like you just.
That's true.
So
it can be part of your vacation, and that's kind of a flex as part of your vacation. Oh yeah, I
but they're not on your schedule. You know what I mean?
No, and that's a good point actually. So this whole thing, this is an experience. You're not staying at the Airbnb and leaving to go do stuff.
Yeah. They
have stuff set for you at the house. This is what we're doing. You're not leaving necessarily.
Yeah.
You're staying here and we have activities set up for you. There's meditation. Again, they're doing dinner.
Yeah,
and
you know how much I
stuff.
hate that kind of stuff.
Well, if it's not your vibe, obviously you wouldn't do it.
Pre-planned activities for us to hang out.
Right.
Just does not sound
But the opportunity to hang out with a celebrity in this way, I do think is kind of cool. Right?
I'm going back and forth on it.
I know. I'm so back and forth on it.
Yeah.
I think the only reason that I'm back and forth on it is because it's Gwyneth Paltrow. It's just her.
I hate that bitch.
I know, right?
All right. Well, that's what Nina complained about. You, me, and we. I go next. I want to complain for Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick is a wide receiver on your Denver Broncos.
Okay.
And he kind of came up from the bottom, at least in terms of the NFL. He was not a high draft pick. He wasn't highly touted. And just every year they kept drafting people to replace him. And every year he was better than they were.
Dang.
And so he eventually got a decent sized contract. And the first year he got a decent sized contract was last year, and he tore his ACL in training camp. So he was out for the whole season.
Oof.
And then in training camp this week, he tore his Achilles. Literally almost 2 days to the year from when he tore his ACL. So he is out for a whole nother year.
Man.
And it's not even a promise that he comes back after that.
Yeah.
And you could see on the video, it's a non-contact injury. He just goes to the ground, and you can see how frustrated and defeated he is. He takes his helmet off. He slams it on the ground because he knows he's got another year of just rehabbing and being by yourself all the time and pain and surgery.
Those are two major injuries. You don't
Huge
always
injuries.
fully recover from that at all.
So he's I don't know. He was such a feel-good story.
Yeah.
And I just feel bad for the guy, man. 2 years in a row.
It's almost like the universe is telling him it's not meant to be.
I know,
which is frustrating.
We went through, I guess this is why it hits me so deep. We went through getting our livelihood taken away from us. And some people's livelihoods are a whole lot more a part of their personality than others.
Definitely.
Listen, if you are an accountant or something and you don't identify with your job, totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's probably healthier. But for a football player, for a radio person, we identify with this as it's part of who we are.
It is part of who we are, and that's the hardest part about it almost.
And I just feel so bad for him because can you imagine, for 2 years, you get that taken away from you and you don't get to be a part of it anymore.
Yikes.
So I feel bad for Tim Patrick. I just wanted to give him a shout out.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
You, me, and we. So we are going to complain about this. I really accepted this as the we just for Nina.
Yeah.
Because it's really more for her.
It's really just for me. You don't really, this doesn't affect you.
Do you want to intro it or should I?
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, Mastercard has made a statement. The credit card company, Mastercard, has made a statement that they are no longer going to allow charges for buying weed.
Man, nah.
We had come so far.
For what? Come
on. The reason
on.
is because of the same reason banks won't take the money, right? It's still illegal federally. And so they said, since it's still illegal federally, we're not going to allow charges anymore.
Lame.
And people just started rolling their receipts up in Visa, and just smoke that shit instead.
You're right.
I don't know. It's
losers, you nerds. Who cares? Come on.
Why is it? I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's money.
Right. It's money at the end of the day. I wonder if there's like extra fees or something like that they have to pay on their end because it's not legal federally. Like, I don't know.
But what's weird about it is it's not drug money yet.
Right. Yet.
Right. Like, it's just your money and this is where you're telling it to go.
Yeah.
But it's like, I understand they probably do that to protect against, I don't know, people sending money for like actually illegal things, which I understand.
It's such an eye roll, though.
But it's not really illegal.
2023, and at least here in Denver, it's been legal recreationally like for years now. Like, come on, we're taking a step backwards.
Well, so 9 News has this article up about it, and the headline is Mastercard moves to stop marijuana purchases on its debit cards. And the first line of it is, the marijuana industry group said the move is another blow to the marijuana business. We honestly don't know how much more we can take. That's like the subline of the, listen, people are still going.
We're still spending a lot of money. You're fine.
If they have to go to the ATM and pull out cash, I'm pretty sure for weed, people are still going to do it.
The only irritating part of that is whenever they have the ATMs at the dispensaries, half the time they're out of service. They don't work.
Oh, really?
It's so annoying.
I'm
So
just
then you
saying,
have to
like,
go to your bank and pull out the money.
Or just
at your
another
bank.
ATM.
I mean, yeah, but then fees.
Or
and
just use your Visa card.
Well, you can't do that anymore. It's fine. I don't have a Visa. Or yeah. Mastercard, right?
Yeah, it's a MasterCard. They
Yeah,
don't take
then I'm good because I only have Visa. Let's
See?
go.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, like, people used to go wait in trailer parks for weed. I'm pretty sure that like they can handle not being able to use a MasterCard to buy it.
Right.
So.
Lame.
All right, that's the you, me, and we. We complain about a lot of stuff. So we like to throw a positive piece of news right in the middle of our little podcast here. And I mean, you read so many of these and you don't know how many, if any, are actually going to work out. But there's this crazy article about hope for a solid treatment for cancer. So a molecule that kills solid cancer tumor cells, leaving others unaffected, shows promise after 20 years of work.
Wow.
It's apparently, it's in a phase 1 trial, which means they're giving it to human beings now. So it's like far enough along that they're giving it to humans.
So we're really trying it.
Yeah. So apparently chemotherapy only works if the tumor isn't solid yet, if it hasn't like coalesced yet.
Okay.
And so this works to attack only the cancer cells. They equated it to a bathtub, and like if you are not watching the bath water, it obviously is going to overflow. But if you can alter these proteins and take this pill, that you can turn off the water essentially and stop it from reproducing, but it won't hurt the healthy cells. The water in the tub is going to be fine. It's just we're making sure that no more cells start replicating, and that's how cancer.
That's how it spreads and it continues to grow. So that's kind of incredible.
Yeah. So this is starting in LA. They've worked on it for 20 years. They spent a lot of time trying to identify how it actually works, which is why it took so long.
Do they know?
They do. They think they do.
Okay, that's good.
But I mean, how many times have we heard like, oh, they're getting close. Oh, they have this. Oh, they have that. And it doesn't actually come to fruition. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get anybody's hope up too much.
I mean, they're still in trials, but the trials have progressed enough that, like you said, that they are using it on people.
Yeah, it's the objective of the current test is to determine the maximum tolerated dose of the investigational pill and to evaluate the medicine for preliminary efficacy. So
they're working on it.
Yeah, like they are already to human trials. So I mean, I don't know. You don't want to give too much hope, but I know.
But at the same time, it's nice to have that hope that someone is working on it. There's a group of people who are trying.
Yeah. And one of these is going to be the one, right? Like we will look back at one of these and say, that was the miracle cure that we've been waiting for this whole time.
Wouldn't it be amazing that someday it's going to happen?
It's just a question of when and which one it is. So like, you don't want to read every story that says like, oh, we've got something and then they all go away.
Get your hopes up.
But one of them will be the one. You know what I mean?
So that's why it's important to keep trying.
Yes.
And I mean, they spent 20 years on this.
I have Go ahead. Sorry.
So I was just going to say, if it is this one, great, because they spent so much time, money, effort, everything on it. And obviously it's great for humanity to have it.
Yeah.
But if this ends up not being the one, I hope that we still continue to try, because eventually we're going to get it. And we just need to keep trying.
And I know it touches everybody's life. Like I went to lunch with there was 4 of us total, and 2 of my friends that were at lunch with us said one, it was his sister, and one, it was his mom.
Yeah. I have a friend who just announced on Facebook he lost his mother to cancer today.
They had just found out they got it. So they were both starting chemo, within the next couple weeks.
My goodness.
So it's just one of those things that I know it affects everyone. Different cancers, but it's all, I hope they come up with something for it.
Seriously.
So that's our good news for today. There's a little bit of hope at least. Yeah. And now let's just ruin all the goodwill that we've made, where Nina tells us about our whack ass of the week, which I didn't even get to prep with you. We didn't even discuss what we were doing for whack ass of the week.
You have no idea who the whack ass is.
You
what
were
the story's
100%
about.
Sure that this person needed to be the whack ass of the week.
Don't worry, I got it.
Okay, so Nina Blanco's whack ass of the week is
Lizzo.
Okay, why?
Which, by the way, our podcast is named YITTY. We started YITTY, the podcast, before she came out with her shapewear YITTY.
Yeah,
I just like to put that announcement out there because it's crazy. YITTY is not even a word.
Yeah.
And we did, yes, I'm talking to you, YITTY, but she said that that was her nickname back in the day when she was a kid. They called her YITTY for some reason.
Sure it was.
I don't know. Anyway, it has nothing to do with her shapewear brand at all. But the news broke yesterday that Lizzo is being sued for mistreating her backup dancers. There are 3 backup dancers who are suing Lizzo for a hostile working environment, saying that Lizzo took them to live shows and forced them to interact in sexually explicit manners with their performers, which I'll get into in a little while, but that was just one of the issues. They also said that Lizzo would mistreat their backup dancers, and that would include weight shaming them. Really? Which is kind of crazy because Lizzo's stance on fat shaming in general, she's just the polar opposite, and she's trying to advocate for people who might be a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And apparently Lizzo would mistreat her dancers and fat shame them, weight shame them. And on top of that, one of their dancers claims that she was super demanding, demeaning, and demoralizing to the point where one of the women peed herself because she was too afraid to ask for a bathroom break.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So there are a group of 3 dancers. All 3 of these dancers, by the way, got their job through Lizzo's TV show, Watch Out for the Big Girls, where it was a dance competition for bigger girls trying out to be on Lizzo's dance team. So they went for that opportunity. They got the opportunity. 2 of them were fired from Lizzo, and one of them left because they couldn't take it anymore. So back to forcing them to interact in a sexually explicit manner. This situation is bonkers. So they were performing in Amsterdam because Lizzo tours all around the world. They were performing in Amsterdam. What is Amsterdam known for?
The red light district?
The red light district, where they have legal prostitution, they have sex shows, all sorts of stuff. So Lizzo invited her team out with the facade of, let's go out, my treat. We'll have some fun. We'll drink some drinks. We'll have a good time out in Amsterdam. So they ended up going to one of these sex shows. And supposedly, Lizzo had forced her dancers to participate in the sex show. Not participate themselves, but just they would call people up to, when you go to a magician show or something, they'll call someone up to be the, right?
Making something entirely different disappear, but okay.
Yeah. But Lizzo invited her cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, catching dildos that were launched from the performers' vaginas.
Oh.
They're that skilled. And this is the worst part. Eating bananas protruding from the performers' vaginas.
Is just the peel in the vagina?
I don't know if it was peeled
and
or
then
not
you
peeled.
eat the banana. The peel is inside, because that is actually probably fine.
I don't know.
But if you peel the banana first,
I don't know.
And then it's a little squishy. Then you know what I mean? I don't know. It's gonna hold shape.
I don't know. But Lizzo volunteered her castmates to do it.
Oh.
Lizzo didn't go up and do it. She said, hey, you go do that. And they felt pressured because, again, the hostile work environment, them saying she's very demanding and would ridicule them, demoralizing, all of that. So they are suing Lizzo, and Lizzo has yet to say anything on the matter. Again, this news broke yesterday. She has yet to say anything on it, which is interesting. But now all the stories are coming up from people even outside of these dancers who personally worked from her, people at meet and greets, stuff like that, who've had bad experiences with Lizzo and are like, man, finally this is coming out. They knew it was going to happen.
So this is really strange, but we hear more often than not, like the people who are mainly vocal against something are the people who, because they like see it in themselves and they hate it. So maybe she's been so vocal against fat shaming because she knows that she does
has
it.
Lived that life, and
I don't know though.
I don't know.
If she lived that life, wouldn't you think she'd be less likely to do it to other people?
Right. And
so
that's
maybe it's not that.
Yeah, I don't know. So I have not a personal experience. My personal experience, I've met Lizzo twice on doing like meet and greets and stuff like that. The first time it was like a dark room. It was before her performance. It was a cool situation. We got to do like a pre-show thing with her, and we grabbed a photo, and the person that took the photo had shaky hands or something, and all of our photos, they took a couple, but all of our photos were blurry. But I had a second opportunity to go see Lizzo do a meet and greet, and I thought it would be fun to just show her the photo. I was like, look, the last time we got all blurry photos, so this time we got to make it look good. Just to like say something to her, because it was just a real quick, you take a photo and you get the hell out of here type of situation. Yeah. So I was like, look, our photos from before, but this time we got to make it look good, girl. And she looked at me like, and just turned around and just smiled for the photo. And I was like, that was weird.
Wow.
That was weird. And that was like my one.
I mean, I was going to say, I don't know a ton of people in the industry who have met her, but there's got to be. Well, I mean, if it's a thing, it's a thing.
It's a thing. And so my story is nothing, because that really doesn't tell me anything. I thought like, oh, she thought I was telling her our photos looked bad. So I was saying that she looked bad, and she took offense to that, which I could understand. I could understand that. So I have a radio friend, and she's from Philly, and she had a meet and greet situation with Lizzo. I don't know the full story, but I need to catch up with her and see what this story is. But she claims that she got fully fat shamed by Lizzo. And this friend, by the way, banging body. I mean, she a little thick, you know, in the booty or whatever, but banging body, okay? She's gorgeous. I just want to put that out there. Okay. And she went for a meet and greet, and supposedly, I don't know what was said. And again, I'll have to find out the full story, but she says she was straight up like fat shamed by Lizzo. And I was like, what? And now that this story is coming out, she's like, oh my God, I need to like get on this. I need to follow this story, because she claims she was fully fat shamed by Lizzo, and it was a bad experience. Okay,
well, if we're fat shaming, then let's start with Lizzo.
No. Okay, hold on. No. Let's not fat shame at all.
No, we shouldn't do that.
No,
that shouldn't be what we do.
No, it's not the point.
I'm just saying, like, this is ridiculous. She crazy. Is not only is she a bigger woman, but she puts herself out there.
Yes.
Like she is unapologetically a bigger woman.
1,000%.
Which is totally fine, and is why great. She had as much support as she had for so long.
Yeah.
But if you're then going to shame other women, well, then like, I don't know. It just feels there's a part of this story is missing, is what it feels like.
I don't know. I wonder. I'm like looking on her Instagram right now. She hasn't posted in a day, and she hasn't said anything about her being sued, about this situation at all. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this story. But there's got to
be a part of the story missing, right?
Like what?
It just doesn't make sense.
That why would Lizzo do this?
Yeah.
Well, she's a very strong personality at the same time. So part of me thinks that she might just be a mean girl. I got mean girl vibes from that one situation. Again, there were certain things that could be misconstrued, and part of me is like, oh, she might have thought this or whatever, but it was definitely mean girl vibes. And just the situation with a personal friend of mine, mean girl vibe, like she might just be a mean girl, and we didn't know. I mean, she's very vocal.
But being a mean girl about like a whole bunch of other stuff, yeah, maybe. But being a mean girl about being fat?
I mean,
there's got to be a portion. There's a part of the story missing somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Maybe it's just that she wishes she wasn't, right? And she feels like she's helping people by doing this. You know,
I mean,
tons
she's
of people
their
who do
employer. It might have been a power thing.
that.
And when you're an internal mean girl and you have power over people and you're their boss, you're signing their paycheck.
Yeah.
You know?
I just know with stories like this, when it feels like you don't have all the information, you don't have all the information.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And so like something is telling me inside, like there is another piece to this that we don't know what it is.
I wonder. But I will say there's a line here. A couple of Lizzo's former employees who are not part of this lawsuit have stepped up to corroborate the other women's claims. So, I mean, there's other people that have either witnessed it. Maybe they don't want to step up themselves and be a part of the lawsuit, but are going to be like, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Women in that industry are not as bashful. You know what I mean? Like,
but the three women who are actually in this lawsuit together, they're not like longtime entertainment industry people.
Yeah.
They signed up on a reality TV show as big girls who do like to dance, and I'm going to go for this opportunity.
That's a good point.
They're regular schmegular people.
They're what?
Regular schmegular, like Cardi B says.
Schmegular? Wait, Cardi B is still our whack ass because it's a whack ass for a full week.
I know.
So even though we're doing another episode, Cardi B is still a whack ass for us. So
I still love Cardi B. She was still in the wrong, but I still love her.
No, you can't quote her. You can't tell us how much you love. She's still still in the wrong. She has to serve the sentence of being a whack ass for a full week.
Fine.
And then you're not allowed to like her or be nice to her or say any of those things.
Fine.
We try to do Yitties Mondays and Wednesdays. So that's our new schedule that we're doing. We are going to try to get Twitch to work next week. So Monday around noon, we're going to try to get it to work. We'll stream it on my Twitch, which is Rob Trujillo.
Rob T Radio.
No, it's Rob Trujillo. It's the only thing that's not.
So confusing.
Everything else is Rob T Radio. But Twitch is Rob Trujillo. But we'll stream it on my Twitch. If we are able to, if we feel like it's going to work, we'll tweet it out and everything. So you can just go follow the link from our social and go
just
right
make
there.
sure that you're following us on Instagram. And if we get it all worked out, we'll put the link up there on our stories.
Yeah.
So make sure you're stalking us on Monday.
And what we're thinking is we'll be able to like live interact with you. So like we'll stick around for a little bit longer and just talk with you guys on Twitch if you guys are still around.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. Otherwise, we will put our podcasts out on Mondays and Wednesdays. You know where to find them, Spotify and YouTube. And then Nina will cut obnoxious clips out of the video and make me sound like an asshole.
You don't like my clips? Come on, it's cute. You have to put out little teaser clips to show people that they need to listen.
You make me sound like an asshole every time you do it.
I didn't make you say shit on this podcast. You made yourself sound like an asshole.
Yeah, well, some people need a talking to, Nina, so sometimes I need to sound like an asshole.
All right, okay.
She is the loquacious, vivacious, bodacious Nina Blanco. You can find her at the Nina Blanco on all the socials.
That is Dubs, aka Rob, aka the bestest. You could find him at Rob T Radio
and
on
that
most
was
socials.
On all socials except for Twitch and YouTube.
There you go.
You can find me on YouTube at Rob T Radio. So it's literally everywhere. Rob T Radio.
Good.
Rob T Radio.
Okay, Rob T Radio.
Got it. Rob T Radio.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening to this Wednesday edition of Yitty.